Okay. Uh, I laid some dirt down here. Oh, are they working on the road? Oh man. No, I don't know what they're doing. Um, looks like they're working on it. Did something. Just that section? Okay. Anyway, what is it? August 22nd. Let's talk about jackets again, because a lot of my adventure has been trying to find gear that I like. I'm on the heavier side, I guess. About 6'2", 265 pounds of pure muscle. My favorite jacket so far for the summer, because that was the biggest challenge, is the Climb Induction Pro. Worth every penny. I got it off eBay from from Climb. They do they sell their, I don't know, used stuff, and this one still had tags on it, so it wasn't even used. It was just it had a blemish on it, I guess, which is barely noticeable. But I guess for people that pay $500 for a jacket, you don't want a blemish, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't care. I would easily pay $500 for that jacket. I would pay full price for that jacket because it's just amazing. The fit, the comfort, the look, everything. It's cool. It's the coolest mesh jacket I have. And it has the most armor. Just a really awesome jacket. The problem is my favorite pants are the Dakars, the Climb Dakars, in the Potter's Clay color. And I just kind of wanted a jacket that kind of matched both that and my bike, because my bike is that sand color, pearl sand, I think they call it, something weird like that. So yeah, I wanted some gear that kind of matched my bike. The challenge is finding a jacket that is a sort of tan color. There's a few options out there. I didn't like the Climb Dakar jacket, the look of it, because there's simply too much white. I'm not sure why they went with that, because the pants have minimum, if any, white at all. I think just the logo on the pants are white, is white. But the jacket, I would say, is predominantly white. So I didn't like that, and I didn't want it. I don't know. There's a couple of, like, I don't want it to match too much either, because I noticed, like, I've seen a couple people wearing, like, matching, the full suit of, like, either Badlands or whatever the other one is called. Can't remember thing. Anyway, where was I? So jackets, yeah. So the climb stuff, like if you get the Badlands jacket with the Badlands pants, or the other one that I can't remember the name of, they just match too much, and it looks like you're wearing a jumpsuit. It's like, and I don't really want to look like an action figure. And like, style is important to me. It's always been. I'm into fashion, okay? It's hard to find, like, a sand-colored jacket. Turkeys! So, there's a couple options. One is, I think, the Badlands Pro, but that's over $1,000. I don't really know all that much about it aside from that. Then there was the Revit Downburst from motorcyclegear.com. And then there's I think it's the Alpine Stars Dry Star, which is like $4.99. So this jacket was $1.99. I thought it was a really good deal. And it's been great for the summer without the liner. When I first got it with the liner, it comes with the liner obviously, and I tried it on. I was like, oh man, this is way too tight. And not around the torso, but actually the arms, because I got pretty muscular arms. But it's been great for the summer. It fit just right for the summer. But now on a cold morning like this, or cool morning, 55 degrees, I put the liner in and forget it, man. It's so uncomfortable. The way they designed this, it's just like, I don't know if I'd ever buy any Revit stuff again, because they're tailoring, the way they tailor their stuff just seems kind of the opposite of Climb. Like, Climb is really, it fits me so good. This stuff is like, I don't know, man. It's very European. Even though they advertised this particular jacket as being more of an American cut, it doesn't seem like it. And it's not that it's tight in the chest or the belly, because that fits me good even with the liner. It's tight, very tight in the arms. The arms are really tapered, and the damn thing is just too damn short. So overall, I think they advertised it as either a 4-season or a 3-season. Because the liner is warm. Like, this is a mesh jacket, but the liner is warm and it's waterproof. And I'm not cold right now. It's 55 degrees out. And I feel good. My overall rating for this jacket, I would not buy it again. They need to be a little less stingy with the fabric and make it longer. Make the arms. It's basically this is like a racer style jacket. Like, I think that's what they go for. because really so few companies make proper adventure gear. I mean, Climb is one of the only ones, right? I think there's like Tourmaster, some British companies. Most of these other companies, they just make kind of just sport bike stuff, and I would say this Revit Downburst fits that category. It's more for that racing style, like really form-fitting, which I guess is just my ignorance as far as what I thought it would be. I don't know a lot about motorcycle jackets. I've never had them until now, until I actually, care about my safety now because I got kids. I might sell. I have some jackets that I bought that are part of my my Mr. Rogers cosplay. But I might just have to figure out how to sell because I don't. All these like eBay and stuff, they take so much money. Last time I used them, it was like, what? I couldn't believe how much of a cut eBay and PayPal took from the stuff I sold. So it's like you have to sell at a big loss, whereas like if I just sold it off of Craigslist or Marketplace or something, met the person, you don't have to take anything. I might just do that. I might do that. I still use Craigslist. I like it a lot better. I wish everybody would go back to Craigslist. Marketplace is, I don't even have a Facebook account. I never did that. I worked in IT security, and when the social media stuff came around, I was like, nope. It was so obvious to me that it was all geared around just collecting people's information, which, my mentality as a hacker from back in the day is like, hell no. I mean, you wouldn't even give out your email address back in the day because if someone has your email address, that's one step closer to them being able to hack into, your accounts. Because your email address is typically your username. And that went a lot faster than I remembered. Already at the bridge. No jumping from bridge. We're going to go through Wilderness here. Nice little touristy section. It looks nice. I mean, I think there might be a place to get coffee. It's always so packed with tourists. I'd never dream of stopping this time of year, but the time of year it's almost over, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because I really don't want summer to be over, but the good part is all the tourists go home for a little while until leaf season. So we do get this sort of little lull, which is like, makes you remember why you like New Hampshire, because New Hampshire without the tourists is very rural. And I love that. I don't like crowds. I don't like traffic. When all these tourists go home, and they're not all from out of state. A lot of these tourists are from southern New Hampshire that come up here from the lakes. I don't know why, but it's like that comedian Bob Marley. So I guess in Maine there's all kinds of Massachusetts tourists and transplants. The comedian says, Bob Marley goes, "Is there a lake in Massachusetts?" Like, what's the big deal, right? It's, I always joke because I live in the lakes region. I don't have a boat. It's too damn crowded. My son's going to be 5 in October. He still hasn't been in the water. It's just too damn crowded. So, if anyone is ever thinking about moving to New Hampshire, keep that in mind, because you're going to be sharing your state with a lot of other people. At least if you live around here. I don't know. I mean, I know up north got taken over by one guy, one native I talked to calls North Conway in that area New Massholia. Is that guy? Is that the other guy in the KLR? It is. Wonder where that guy's going. Gotta go slow through here, man. So there's a marketplace there. There's a basin there. Is that a restaurant? Oh, what's this? There's a pizza somewhere around here? I don't know. It's confusing. Girl's got some nice pants. I gotta figure out a way to meet up with that guy. I know he's been riding longer than I have because I saw him riding that before I even got this bike. And he's got the exact same model of KLR, same color and everything. Which means we must meet and convene. So this area here appears to be where all the rich city people have settled on this hill in Meredith. I believe this is Meredith now. All the rich people who vote Democrat. Isn't that interesting? People are still under this false assumption that the Democrats are like the party of the working class and all this nonsense, but I have never seen that to be true. If you go to any area and you go to where all the mansions are, they're almost always Democrat. If you look in New Hampshire, the people that have, their houses are rather modest, single wide trailers put down on a plot of land, they're almost always Republican. So I'm not sure if that Blue Dog Democrat thing is from like the JFK era. I don't know. That predates me by a long time. But I've never seen it. In my lifetime, the Democrats have always been the party of the rich elite. And the bubble people. The people that live in a bubble. That want this sort of utopia without accepting the realities of that utopia. This person's got a tennis court. Look at that. But yeah, from my experience, these Democrats they want Mayberry. Safety, not freedom. I mean, there's like this weird division because like it's hard to knock people or criticize people that want to do good. So I understand that some people in their hearts they want to do good for other people, but number one, it shouldn't be government mandated because not everyone can afford really to be charitable, and not everybody wants to be charitable. So if you want to be charitable, donate to a charity. Don't vote that we have new taxes and more taxes because you're a rich a-hole and have money to blow. If you got money to blow, spend your money on charities. Start your own damn charity. Like, I don't want town services. Everyone should just plow their own roads. And the people around here do. So, like, that's the mentality that we need to return to. If you want to bring your state, your county, your town back to the old ways, reject all things government, including your town services, because that's where it all starts. And there's a really weird thing that I found out a few years ago, and I looked at every town that I could think of, and they all, not just in New Hampshire, even Connecticut, I think I just, for good measure, I checked like Virginia. Every town, even the small towns, have something called a master plan. Now, someone who works in town services, this might not be a big deal. This might be always have been a thing, but every single town has it. So it's like uniform across states and towns. So even my small town has a master plan. And then now, okay, so that brings me to one of the things that's covered in the master plan is like housing and development, right? New Hampshire, even under a Republican majority, was taking in 1,000 immigrants a year. Why? It's like a requirement. It's so bizarre. And then these a-holes in government start talking about how, we have a housing crisis now. See? They create the problem and they want to sell you on the solution. Why do we have a housing crisis? That makes no sense to me. Why are you coming to New Hampshire if there's nowhere to live? Why are you coming to New Hampshire if there's no opportunity? That's not how nature works, right? I mean, historically, you go places where there's opportunity. Why do you go places? So why are people coming here if there's no opportunity? There's nowhere to live, there's nowhere to work. So why are people coming here? Because the government brought them here. They're creating the crisis. So now what do you think's going to happen? Well, they're going to start developing. I drove by a lot that's being cleared in Sanbornton, New Hampshire. There was a sign on the lot that said, paid for by Habitat of Humanity. I read last night that the federal government has transferred $800 million of our tax money to Catholic churches or organizations or whatever to rehouse immigrants. So this is all part of the population replacement that we're experiencing right now. And the federal government is doing this because we ask too many questions. We've become too much of a burden. Our standards are too high. They want to replace us. So we can continue to steer this country towards the inevitable. Whatever you want to call it, totalitarianism. It comes in all different kinds of forms. All different forms. But it's government control. And how much easier is it to control people that now rely on you for, well, it's welfare, housing? Very scary. I saw this coming like, geez, 2 decades ago. And I was still a kid. But I recognize it because I saw it happening. I grew up in a nice little it was originally a majority Republican town. This town was hardcore Republican, old school Republican, not asshole, neocon type Republicans. It was Cheshire, Connecticut. It was the town I grew up in. Beautiful, small town. And as people found out about it, same thing as New Hampshire, all the New Yorkers and the rich city people started moving in, building big houses, clearing the land. To shape it in their image, right? Like the gods that they think they are. And the thing that the irony there that's we've seen the little skits and stuff about this is these people they escape to these country areas, these rural areas to escape their city, but then they bring the city with them. They bring their voting habits with them. They bring their their desire for convenience with them, their desire for safety with them, and they end up turning these beautiful little escapes into the pile of shit that they left. And they don't see it. I think there's people, especially people from the city, they're like the most they have no self-awareness like whatsoever. I mean, like as far as like their thinking, I mean, they're extremely selfish, but they don't there's no introspection. Like they don't sit down and contemplate how incredibly stupid they actually are, and why I'm so kind of it seems kind of like an aggressive statement, but the reality is they think that they're smarter than everybody else. They think they're smarter and more cultured, so that's why I choose such strong language, because they're actually incredibly stupid. They don't see it because, they have perhaps an Ivy League education, perhaps they have an executive position, so they think they're king shit. And that's typically what you find, like in that area, that hilltop there in Meredith, with all these little mansions, beautiful houses. They're really nice. Whoever designed those, they're pretty unique. They're not like the big mansion development kind of thing, but typically that's who inhabits those, who buys those kinds of homes, who builds those kinds of homes, is rich city people who think that they're king of the world. I mean, it goes right back to What About Bob, which is hilarious to me. He bought a dream house. That is so New Hampshire, because like the natives in New Hampshire, they absolutely despise these rich city people who come in, who swoop in with their bags of money. Here's another example. This road had been sat untouched for decades, and now after COVID, there's just houses popping up. People moved in, they escaped. There's a new house popping up here, Massachusetts plate, and then you got a new house that popped up here, and the first thing they did was, with no hunting, they posted their land. What's going on at the pond today? Let's see. Oh, wait. There's a mass plate. Okay, they're fishing. Okay. And that's pretty much bald right there. This tire needs to get replaced very soon.